The fork scraped against porcelain, a small, sharp sound that felt louder than it should have. Across the table, Miranda, my wife's sister, laughed again. Too bright, too rehearsed, the kind of laugh meant to cut without drawing blood. "Oh, come on," she said, tilting her head. "It's kind of cute, that ancient thing you drive. What is it again? A Civic? From the Stone Age?" The table erupted, short bursts of laughter, brittle and careless. My wife didn't join in. She didn't stop it either. She swirled her wine slowly, eyes fixed on the red spiral like it held answers she didn't want to give. That silence landed heavier than any insult. Then Miranda's fiancé spoke. New money polish, calm voice, no idea where he'd stepped. "Didn't you mention something about a jet once?" he asked me casually. "St. Bart's, I think?" The room collapsed into stillness. Miranda froze mid-sip. My wife's fingers tightened around her glass, knuckles bleaching white. No one laughed this time. It wasn't Miranda's mockery that stayed with me. It was my wife's stillness. Years ago, she'd defended me like a wildfire, once broke a man's nose for calling me ordinary. Tonight, she couldn't even meet my eyes. I noticed the rest, too, how she laughed a beat too quickly at Miranda's jokes, how she touched her arm, conspiratorial. The looks they exchanged, quick, knowing, as if I were furniture. Miranda had always despised me. Too plain, too quiet, not impressive enough. But now there was something else in her expression. Satisfaction. The betrayal hadn't arrived suddenly. It had been aging, sealed, deliberate. I kept eating. Each bite tasted like overcooked regret. That night, the house slept but didn't rest. My wife lay beside me, too still, breathing shallow, like someone pretending innocence. Her phone was unlocked. She never thought I'd look. The messages were waiting, weeks of them, screenshots, jokes, coordination, my clothes, my habits, my sad little car, laughing about how I hadn't upgraded it while knowing I was quietly liquidating assets. She called me dull, said I was lucky she stayed, shared an old bank statement, the decoy account, with its thinning numbers. What cut deepest wasn't the insults, it was the teamwork. They'd bonded over dismantling me. I didn't confront her. I didn't raise my voice. I made coffee, black, bitter, and opened the folders she didn't know existed. You don't accumulate real wealth by being loud about it. There were trusts layered beneath trusts, accounts that never carried my name, a jet registered under an anonymous foundation, the St. Bart's property owned by a Zurich-numbered shell. I never hid money out of fear. I hid it out of discipline. I opened the trust agreement again. As always, her name was absent. I'd learned early, after a small lie about a missing necklace, that affection and entitlement aren't the same thing. The prenup wasn't decorative, it was surgical. The next dinner felt different. Miranda arrived overdressed, nerves wrapped in designer fabric. My wife smiled too much, too hard. I wore the same jacket they'd mocked days earlier. They circled me again, gently, like predators testing weakness. Then Miranda's fiancé asked once more, "So, how's the jet?" I dabbed my mouth, didn't look up. "Fine," I said. "Flew it in February. St. Bart's. Stayed at the villa. The view's still tolerable." Silverware clattered. "Villa?" Miranda whispered. Her fiancé frowned. "You never told me he owned that place." She turned to my wife. "You said he was broke." I stood and tapped my phone. The projector behind us flickered on. Images filled the wall. Documents, trusts, registrations, a quiet architecture of wealth. My name threaded through everything, hers nowhere. Then a folder opened. Mockery, messages, laughing emojis, screenshots. Miranda lunged for the remote. Too late. Her fiancé stood slowly. "We're done." She chased him out, voice cracking, dignity unraveling. My wife didn't move. "What is this?" she whispered. "Reality," I said. "You just weren't invited to it." Later she cried, blamed Miranda, called it a mistake, said she was sorry, promised change. I listened. Then I handed her an envelope, divorce papers, and a check. $1. For your pride, I said. I didn't feel triumphant walking away, just light, clean. Revenge doesn't always roar. Sometimes it's the soft click of a door closing and the quiet realization that no one is following you. They laughed at Rust, never knowing it was camouflage.